Listen up, you may learn something today. Darian Thomas here. And today's topic, we're going to talk about when is the best time to list your property and when is the best time to buy a property. So a lot of different factors that go into it. Once again, it's going to obviously heavily depend on where you live, and I'm going to get into why that is important. But for the most part, it's nothing too crazy, right? Obviously the best time to list a property is when buyers have a lot of money, and the best time to buy a property is when not a lot of people are looking. So I mean, pretty self-explanatory for the most part. Like I said, you may get a little pushback from that one. Well, not a lot of people are looking, not much stuff's on the market. Yes, that's true, but also at the same point in time, you're probably not going to overpay for a property. Probably not going to get into a multiple offer situation. So when is the best time to list a property? Obviously, we live in America, right? And what happens, around, February, March, April, May, tax time, right? Usually people are getting their taxes back. That's usually when a lot of people, have extra money. I shouldn't say money, but extra money. Some people are disciplined enough to save up, money, but when that big chunk of change comes out, it's a good time to market your property. So I would definitely say on this one, about February to March would be an ideal, is a decent time to start listing, right? Between February to March, it's a decent time to list your property. Like I said, I live in Cleveland, Ohio, and going back to the point what I was saying about it's going to depend on where you live, is because hey, we have seasons out here, right? We get snow, we get a lot of snow. February, March is kind of when is kind of when a lot of times you'll see the snow starting to melt, and it's better. Obviously, people can go out. People are, ready to get out just because they've been through the winter. So February, March, I would say possibly get into April and May. It's definitely a good time to start listing. Really, any time in the winter, the summer is a good time to list. But February, March is definitely, I would say, is going to be your peak time, just because that's when a lot of people, are going to, be getting their tax money back. So it should be pretty self-explanatory. Now, when is a good time to buy? Now, this is how I kind of think of it. You have to I look at it as, what is everybody else doing, right? And how can I be different? So, if everybody's listing in February, March, is that a good time to buy? It's not a bad time to buy. My answer to this would be yesterday. Good time to buy is yesterday. I never, ever really say that there's ever a bad time to buy, just because in every single market, I think there's a home run for everybody. Whether it's the price point or whatever you're looking for. But for the sake of this video, I personally think a good time to buy is around Christmas time. Hear my point, okay? Hear me out. Now, you may say, why would that be a good time to buy? Because there's not a lot of inventory around Christmas time. Yes, I definitely understand that. There's not much inventory. People don't want to sell, and people don't want to be bothered around the holidays. Sometimes closing takes a little longer because the holidays and whatnot. But in Ohio, we deal with this thing called winter, right? And also nationwide, we deal with this thing called Christmas. A lot of people usually don't have money, around Christmas time. It means a lot of transactions aren't getting done around Christmas times, which means a lot of people aren't looking around Christmas time. But there are still homes on the market. Now, there may not be as much inventory, right? There may not be 200 homes on the market as there are in the summer, but there's still homes that are on the market, right? Whether they are listings that are 30 days plus, some are 60 days plus. I mean, very rarely you'll get a 1 to 15 day listing on December 1st. Usually they like to list it before, but you just eliminated your buyer pool. So that's why I always kind of say November, December, right? There's a lot of snow on the ground. It's really cold. It gets dark around 4 o'clock. So a lot of people necessarily don't want to be bothered, with going out and looking in the snow and whatnot. But you're probably not going to run into a multiple offer situation, right? You're not going to have as many buyers. Not only that, you have to think, appraisers, don't necessarily like the snow either. And I'm not saying snow is going to directly affect the value of the home, but you also have to consider that, it possibly does play a factor. So with that being said, November, December, I think is a good time to buy, just because not many people are looking, right? Let me rephrase that. It's never a bad time to buy, right? It's never a bad time to buy. November, December just seems to be the best for me. Once again, everybody has their opinion on why you should do things and why you shouldn't. That's just me. November, December, I think is definitely a good time to purchase. Not many people are looking. You just eliminated your buyer pool, and who knows? You may be able to get a property for $5,000 or $10,000 cheaper than what you would potentially, buy it for in the summer, just because there's not as many people looking. So it's just something to consider. Like I said, February, March, good time to list your property, good time to sell. Obviously, a lot of people have money. It's coming off the winter. The weather's starting to get better. Weather's starting to break, and November, December is a good time to look to buy. So once again, Darian Thomas, listen up, you may learn something today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Peace.